Hey guys, look, it's a Tom Hooper frame. Oh, I'm gonna start my review with that. Take 25 is in order. This is without a doubt the hardest review I've ever done, writing and video, because it's just so hard for me to get my opinions across without spoiling this movie. And so with that being said, I decided to break it up into two videos. One full of spoilers and one spoiler free, because I simply cannot express my opinions for this movie without spoiling it. And if I do any spoilers in any video ever, I will always put a spoiler alert at the top of the title, so you know not to click on it. Because I'm not here to spoil movies, because I don't like being spoiled, and I don't want to do that to anyone. So, that being said, this is my spoiler-filled review of Les Miserables. Okay, so I went into Les Mis not really knowing what to expect. When the trailer first came out, I was a little underwhelmed by it. Everyone was saying it looked amazing, and it looked like, no doubt, Best Picture. And I just thought it was like, that's what I did. I went like that, And I really didn't anticipate it at all. I thought I didn't know if I was actually going to see it. And then it got its obvious, when it first premiered, it got its huge roar from the first critics that seen it, and standing O's and everything. And it was the surefire going to win Best Picture. It got nominated for Golden Globes, all that stuff. And then it got released, and the buzz for it kind of died down a little bit. And I think that's simply because it's a musical, and it's going to be split in two totally different crowds. There's people that, praise musicals, and those are the people that have this as their number one movie of the year. And then there's the people who hate musicals and probably have it in their bottom 80 of the year, So, it's just that movie that seems to be split, even though it's probably in the top 3 front runners for Best Picture. I'd say right now it's Zero Dark 30, this, and Lincoln. It's going to be one of those 3 that wins. So yeah, with that being said, I didn't know what to anticipate going into this movie. I figured I was going to hate it, because I've never really seen a musical before. I'm not that. I've seen maybe 3 musicals in my entire life, and there's nothing that draws me to them. I've never been drawn to see a musical, and that's because it's really died down since, in my generation of watching movies, there's maybe been just a few relevant musicals to come out in my generation. And Les Mis is the musical that is, everyone's saying is bringing the musical back. So, maybe there's going to be more. And I will say this, I'll see another musical, because I did enjoy the singing in Les Mis. I thought it was going to be stupid, and I thought it was going to be dumb and irrelevant, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. I've been listening to 2 or 3 of the tracks all day long, because I liked them. So I'll download the soundtrack. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I'll download it and listen to those 3 songs again, because I did enjoy them. And so again, this is that was all spoiler free. That part's going to go in both videos. But now it's all spoilers from here on out, because this is the spoiler video. So if you don't want any spoilers for this movie, turn back now. So going into the storyline, I loved the first half of this film. I thought the first half of this film was extremely, extremely well done. I'd say about the first hour and a half of the movie, I was like, holy shit, this movie's fucking amazing. It's gonna be, not amazing, but this movie's really fucking good. It's probably gonna be in my top 10. And then the second half happens, and the point in which I felt this movie changed is when it goes another 8 years into the past, and we're introduced to Eddie Raymond's character and what's her name? Amanda Seyfried. And because of that, those 2 characters and everything there just felt off. I don't think that translates to film well, what goes on. I think Eddie Rainman's character, I forget his name, and I'm too far into this video to look it up, but his character instantly falls in love with her. And I have no problem with that. People, that's just a common thing in movies, is people fall in love at first sight. But my problem is how far his character goes to try and save her. And how far, not save her, but how far his character goes to get her. And he's seen her once, he's interacted with her once, and that's it. And he just goes to these fucking extremely high degrees to be with her. And then, on top of that, Hugh Jackman's character does everything for him. He saves this kid's life for him to be with his daughter. I mean, it may sound romantic, but I just thought it was extremely cheesy. And I thought that entire sequence, I would say it's the third act. Maybe you consider it a fourth act. I'm not sure how this film would be broken up. I would say 4 parts, but if you want to say the third act, I thought everything about that was cheesy. I thought the kid was cheesy. I thought everything in the third act was cheesy, except for Russel Crowe's death. I thought that was probably the best part of the final act of the film, and I really enjoyed how his character was killed on screen, and that's probably my favorite part. And the actual ending of the film, I think it was very well done and symbolic, but again, it goes back to the cheesiness and not translating well to film, at least for me. If you love musicals, maybe that's what you want, but I'm in it for a good storyline, and I don't think that is a top-notch storyline. I think it's full of cliches, and it's just something that doesn't translate well to movies. And especially when you think about these characters are supposed to be teenagers, and they're like in their mid to late 20s. And then the biggest thing is Hugh Jackman's character, Jean Valjean. He is supposed to be like 60 maybe in the final act. I mean, he's supposed to be an old man that dies here, and he's fucking Hugh Jackman, dude. He's like 38, he's 40 years old probably, tops. And the makeup was fine, he one of my friends said he looked like Scrooge, and it's totally true, because he does look like Scrooge. And that's it's just, again, it just does not translate well to movies. And but the first act of this film I fucking love. Now I'm gonna go back to that. The first act of this movie I just can praise the hell out of. I really loved it. I loved Anne Hathaway's sequence. If it is truly, if the best actress or best supporting actress is between her and Sally Fields right now, which is the rumors, which online, you got to give it to Anne Hathaway. She's in the movie for 3 scenes, and in all 3, she truly steals everything she's in. She does a fantastic job singing, and I actually loved the scene. It's going to be in my top favorite scenes of this year. I believe the song is called I Dreamed a Dream or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that scene was fantastic. It's probably my favorite scene of the movie, and it actually gave me chills because her singing was perfect. There's all the scenes with Russel Crowe and Hugh Jackman are top-notch throughout the whole film. And that's the one thing I did say that I did enjoy in the third act, was their scenes together. Because while I agree with everyone that Russel Crowe can't go on, he can't sing as well as Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway and some of the other characters in the film, I think he did a good job acting in the movie. And his interactions with Hugh Jackman were the best part of the movie. And Hugh Jackman, he did a fantastic job, and I really didn't expect that much out of him, because Hugh Jackman, he's a good actor, but I've never thought he was a great actor. And in this movie, I thought he carried the movie. And that was, again, there wasn't enough Hugh Jackman in the third act. it was too focused on the war and Eddie Rainman and Amanda Seyfried, and it was just I hated the third act of this movie. The final half of this movie. I just fucking hated it. I thought it was terrible. Because it didn't have those things that I loved in the first act. It didn't have, Anne Hathaway was obviously dead. Hugh Jackman was barely in it. And when Russel Crowe was in it, he didn't say shit for like 30 minutes. So I gotta say that. But Hugh Jackman, he does deserve a Best Actor. I really got to think about it, but I wouldn't mind if he won because I thought he was great, and I did not expect that well of a performance out of him. And with that being said, and the next thing I got to talk about is the direction. Obviously, I think the storyline was a bit underwhelming and cliche in the second half, but I think a lot of that translates well to film. I think if I've seen it on Broadway or seen it, in a play, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more, but I didn't. I seen a movie, and I didn't like that. But the direction of this movie is fine. I did not approve of Tom Hooper winning Best Director in 2010 because I don't think he deserved it, even though it was a great acting performance, great acting, and he's to show from that. You can't have a great acting without a great director. So with this, the acting is all top notch, and the singing is top notch. Choreography, all that's good. But my biggest problem with Tom Hooper is truly, and everyone talks about it, is his framing, and it's just he doesn't do it. His cinematographer does, but he approves it, and I think it is truly annoying to watch the film. I don't know if you at the beginning of this I make a joke about it, and it really is annoying how he frames his movies. They're either too far out or they're too close in and crooked, and it's just annoying. I'll see another Tom Hooper movie, but that shit annoys the fucking hell out of me. But with that being said, I'm so split on this movie. It's one of the only films I've ever seen in my entire life where I am so split. I hated the second half of this movie. Truly hated it. And it's crazy because the first half of this movie, I was thinking this is going to be in my top 10. And if it continues this way, it'll probably be my top 5. But I kind of have to meet it in the middle. And I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I did hate the second half of this movie. And I hated the ending so much. But the first half, Anne Hathaway's performance, Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman's interactions, and Hugh Jackman by himself are fantastic in this movie. I love about 3 or 4 of the songs, all in the beginning of the movie. The singing is top notch. I enjoyed the musical. It's my first ever musical, so I truly did enjoy that. And I like Les Mis. I hope a lot of people don't take offense because I ripped on it a little bit, but that's the best thing about movies is we all have different opinions. So I hope you respect that. And if you disagree with me or if you agree with me, leave a comment below. Remember to subscribe and send this video to your friends and try to get me some more subscribers because I only have a couple right now and I'm trying to build an audience here. So yeah, have a good night and thanks for watching.